A word for our listeners. Masks of Nyarlathotep is set in the 1920s. We will be using terms and sayings from those times, including some that could be considered offensive. It is not our intention to offend. We merely wish to offer as accurate a view of the time period as possible. Welcome to the Nerds Domain presents Masks of Nyarlathotep. Join us each week as our investigators follow a path of clues and attempt to save the world from an ancient evil. Starring John Quiett, Jestin Kimmet, Shirley Nedzwicki, George Chimples, Jason Hall, and Scott Troiano, with Matt Quiett running the table as keeper. Eldritch evils and crazed cultists await you just beyond this music.
Hi, and welcome to Nerds Domain presents Masks of Nyarlathotep. Side quest, Terra Nova.
You can say Terra Nova.
Terror.
It's not terroir.
I'm going to hand it over to Juan. Go ahead, Juan. Yeah, you got a new name.
Alright. Never show on.
Who?
So, last time we saw the crew of the Graceful Tiger. Heinrich, First Officer Heinrich Schmidt and Senior Pilot Jan Lagash.
I was the crew of the Jupitrix. Go ahead.
Well, we're aboard the Jupitrix shuttle.
Schultz.
Schultz?
Okay. That's fine. You just confused me. That's fine. You're
that's fine. I wrote down Schmidt. It was Schultz. I apologize. Anyway, we're aboard. So yes, Heinrich and Jan were aboard the Jupitrix. Jan's personalized shuttlecraft, and they were attempting to circumnavigate the globe and locate an area where a strange signal was coming from. Back on board the Graceful Tiger, we had 6 individuals being taken out of cryosleep by Dr. Henderson. Engineer Marcus Smith was confronted with some strange goings-ons in the wiring of the ship. He and Second Officer Tolby were dealing with that in their own special way, or about to be. Tolby seemed to be more confounded by it than Mr. Smith. And Captain Baker was in his bunk.
No, I'm on the bridge.
On the bridge, that's right.
I'll be in my
bunk. So let's pick it up with the Jupitrix shuttle. And you guys have been flying. Did you immediately head east or west? Did you go towards the signal or away from it?
I wanted him to plot a course twice around to hit the most amount of islands. The second circuit would be towards the so we're not necessarily going away from the radio signal, but
so like you go north of it on the first pass.
So here's the globe, and so he wants to find first a path where we go whatever would cover the most landmass,
right,
and then the second pass would
guarantee
cover the area that we thought the signal was coming from.
Okay,
right. And my overall goal is if the ship that's missing is dirt side, yes, I want to find it with metal detector or whatever sensor.
Sure.
Yeah, so magnetic anomalies.
Right. Look, a ship right over there. Okay.
All right. So you guys are well into the let's say you're in the final quarter of your first circuit, and you are approaching a smaller landmass, one of the smaller major landmasses. Obviously, there's thousands of tiny islands that would be Hawaii island size, but you're approaching one that's maybe half of Australia. I'm going to and you start receiving another signal. It's weak and it's purely radio, not. Not on one of the computer bands, the normal things.
Sure.
It's like shortwave radio.
Okay.
Versus modern technology.
Is it driving us insane to listen to it?
Do you turn it on? Like, accept it?
Like, beep, incoming call.
Like
I'm going to isolate it to me first.
Satan calling.
So like
to my headset. We got headsets.
Okay. It's static to you. It's not.
Doesn't sound weird.
Then no, not like that first one.
Okay. So I'm receiving this and I send it to him as well.
Okay. So are you guys both listening to it through a single earpiece?
No, it's we each have our own.
Right. I mean, you have one and you have one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's my rationalization for this is that since you'd have multiple channels, because if you're doing a descent, but you also need to communicate with the home base, you might have one person who's talking with the ground control, one person talking with the ship.
Yes.
But then you could also key them into each other, so I can isolate the channels I was listening to. But right now we're listening to the same channel, different headpieces.
Okay. Once you do that, it's sort of it's kind of coming through in stereo.
Mm-hmm.
But once you split the signal, you hear Lagash. You hear it more in your right ear. It's almost like the left ear went out.
Sure.
And Heinrich, you hear it in your left ear only. Like again, you're kind of picking up like it's whispering in your right ear, but it's all coming. Like you're listening to headphones, but half of one.
Yeah. I slap my right ear. Does it get better?
No.
Are you sending me the whole thing?
Yeah, it was in stereo previously.
I only got the left ear.
I only have the right.
Can you alter course a bit to finish off this orbit and try to fly over where that's coming from?
Roger that.
So you alter your course a little bit to go. You're reading this as like a radio signal like we have nowadays. So you alter your course to go to the epicenter.
Yep.
So like I said, as you're approaching a landmass, as you get to the coast, you see a lean-to structure. Again, this is the future, so it's not a tent, but it's a
pop-up
structure.
pop-up
structure of some sort, good for housing one or two people for short periods of time.
Emergency shelter.
Emergency shelter, exactly. Do you slow down and approach it, or do you just fly by?
I slow down real slow and take us in.
Do you land?
No, but maybe 50 feet up.
Okay.
Kind of banking in a slow circle around it so we can keep a visual, like actual eyes on it.
You are on a clearing of sorts. This is in a clearing next to the water, back away from what you would perceive as the tide line. And give me a spot hidden.
Yeah, pass.
Nope.
You see a guy in the tree line, and he ducks down when as you approach.
XO, I saw someone in the trees.
All right, mark this spot. Continue this orbit. Take us on the second orbit over whatever the source of that sound was. The first thing. We'll come back for him.
Do you want me to call to him?
No, not yet. The size of the island. How big is this? Is this one of the tiny ones?
It's small for the total. But it's like it's a continent. You would call it a continent. It's not a Hawaii-sized island. It's like half of Australia. Okay.
Are there any vehicles here? Is there any what looks like any form of swift travel? Could there be a ship under the tarp or the emergency?
There's nothing that big for the off-planet ship. Is not in this clearing.
How about a vessel like we're in?
They're again not your size, but a land cruising vehicle.
He could have a Jeep or something.
Yeah, there is evidence of that, but you don't see anything here.
Okay. No. We'll come back to him.
So I'm going to log it in the shuttle's computer and squirt it up to, also the Graceful Tiger.
Yeah.
I'm also going to have a separate, on my own personal computer, I've got my own separate map that I'm trying to keep separated. I'm keeping my personal computer basically isolated as much as I can. So I've got my own records that are secure and logging the position on that as well.
Okay.
Because I don't imagine I have a printer.
It is logged on 3 separate hard drives at this point in time.
And then I, from the maneuver.
So as you guys are continuing to plot the course or continuing around, you begin your second course, and you're approaching the area of the weird signal, and it is a small island, maybe a mile wide. It would be Rhode Island size. It's not big. There is nothing on it that immediately jumps out at you. It's got foliage, terrain, sand, all that stuff. But again, nothing immediately jumps out at you.
I'm going to take a circuit around it at treetop level.
Okay.
Kind of.
You see, give me a spot hidden. Yes.
Pass.
Okay. You do see some metallic glints coming through the trees as you buzz them. Center mass of the island, but it's covered. You'd have to land and approach it on foot.
There may be some structures in there, XO.
Okay, mark it. Finish this up.
I do the same thing.
Yep.
All 3 places, and then return to ship.
We finished both orbits. Anything else weird? Do we find the big ship?
No.
Anything else weird pop out?
No.
All right, we're burning fuel. Let's go back up to the Tiger.
All right, Graceful Tiger Control. This is Jupitrix. We're returning to base.
You not Toby, because
Graceful Tiger, come in.
Yeah. Come on back.
Okay.
Did you find anything out there?
It was like, and you hear nothing back from the ship. No!
Oh.
So, several hours have passed, uneventful. Uneventful. Well, for the ship, the Graceful Tiger.
Crazy guy.
He's on the ship. Crazy mechanic.
Marcus or Jason, what does Marcus make of the rewiring that's happened? What do you want to do about that?
I'm going to fix it the American way first.
Tear it all out.
With a hammer?
Well, no, I'm going to poke it with a screwdriver and see what happens.
Oh, nice. Right on.
Gentle prodding, nothing happens.
No, like, stick. It's component parts. I don't care.
What do you mean stick?
Like I'm going to, like, jab it and see if, like, something sparks out or something like that.
Or
I know
squirts out.
Yeah.
Well, no, if it starts shooting blood, then yeah, we have a problem.
Well, yeah, you're just going to jab the computer.
Our chief engineer fixes things by stabbing them with screwdrivers.
You're not around.
You don't worry about the doctor.
Again, no wonder the ship is in such a state of disrepair.
I'll have you know the ship runs like a
If only we had an officer who took care of this kind of stuff.
I'm on my way.
He does by physically abusing people.
Yes,
it's
I
like-
do.
I'm not going to reach my hands in there right now and go like, ooh, look. But I'm
Are
just
you
be like,
destroying things? Or are you just like...
it's already destroyed.
Well, it's functioning, but it's shorted out.
If it's shorted out, it's not
It's
functioning.
not functioning.
Boom.
You know
Stab
what I
it.
mean. So you just break it more?
Well, no, I don't know if there's live wires in there or whatever. Like, I could have the noob over here stick his hand in and see what happens. But
The question is, are you probing it with a screwdriver, or are you hacking it with
I'm
a
not
screwdriver?
being nice about it, but I'm not being, like,
Okay, well...
overtly violent.
Well, as I said, it's not functioning properly. It's not relaying the power the way it should, and it's... but there are several live wires and components active that if you just rip them out, it would potentially hurt you. You could safely disassemble and try to reassemble this structure, but you also have had orders to attempt to get the planet's satellite network back in operation.
I'm going to give Toby
You.
some rubber gloves and a schematic.
And hope for the best.
Tell him to pull all that out. And I'm going to go deal with the problem I was giving orders for.
You do remember that he's above you in rank, right? I'm just character-wise. You tell him what to do and then go do...
Yeah, I'm going to be like, here's some rubber gloves, here's a schematic, I got stuff to do back here, I'll come back in a minute.
I got some hammock time waiting for me.
I gotta poke something with a screwdriver. I'll be right back.
Captain, you're great at picking out your crew.
Yeah, clearly.
Hey, if you knew what this ship would look like without me, you wouldn't say that.
I'm all right.
All right, so you go to work on the satellite network.
fired.
Okay. So So I'm going to ask for a series of computer use rolls here. Right now, the problem is that the satellites are not communicating with each other. So you're going to have to go to several of them. Give me 3 rolls.
Pass. Pass.
All right. So you now have effectively gone in and rebooted the communications network between the various hubs therein, and now signal is now traveling between them like it should be, and out to the buoy, as it should be. So I believe you have effectively accomplished your goal.
All right, now I'm going to grab some tools and go back and deal with Toby.
Okay.
I'm going to assume he screwed something up completely.
All right. It's at that point that Tolby wanders into the medical bay. What are you doing, Doctor? You have 6 patients effectively, or soon to be, on your bed.
I'm making sure everything's put up nice and neat, everything's ready to go, everything's prepped.
All right.
I have a small bag ready to go also, because I assume things are going on with landing. They'll probably need a doctor to go with them, so I'm going to have a little carrying bag, make sure everything's there, ready to go.
All right. So Toby comes in and says, Doc,
What can I do for you?
I don't know. My head hurts real bad. I was trying to do this wiring out here, and it just doesn't make any sense. I can't concentrate on it.
I want to check him over real quick to see if he's been electrocuted.
Okay. Medicine?
Yep, I made it.
No,
I was waiting
no
for her to go
burns.
fail.
No burns?
No burns. Nothing.
How would you check someone on
His
this
eye,
group for
like
burns?
he's popped a blood vessel in his eye. You know, it's all.
Ew.
One of them is filling red.
Now the whole crew is unattractive.
Oh.
Except the captain. Sorry.
I got a bottle of acid with your
His,
name on it, don't worry.
One of us. One of us.
Could a psychology check tell me if he's seeming...
Sure.
Is he seeming?
Space fever.
No, this is normal. 68 over 50.
Wow.
Yeah, okay, so this is how he does
Sailor, you are
Space
good to
fatigue.
go.
He's obviously there's something wrong with him, but you chalk it up to fatigue.
Yeah.
Give him some amphetamines.
Yeah, I'm going to give him some...
Uppers.
Speed.
Space uppers.
I want to give him some
Because
things to
those are
calm him
better.
down a little bit.
Yeah.
Give him a...
They're more spacey.
Calm him down. You want to get him up.
No. If he's already popping blood vessels, that's not a good thing to up him more with.
His blood's too slow. It's tired blood.
It's so
That
tired
seems
it's stopping
logical.
to rest in his eye.
Cooling. It's
Stopping
cooling.
to rest in his eye. Obviously, hit him with the space
Hey,
leeches,
this
and
is
he'll
how
be
flow
fine.
mechanics works on a ship. I
Right.
mean, come on.
I'm going to page the captain.
Okay.
Captain Baker,
Every 50.
Yes, Doctor?
I got a second officer Tolby down here. He seems to be
Wait. Okay, go ahead.
showing signs of fatigue. He mentioned something about wiring not looking right. He's apparently popped a vessel in his eye. I'm going to request that he take some time off and just relax for a bit. Then you
Okay.
This strikes you as odd because, Tolby was on duty and everything should be fine.
Not anymore.
You're not fatigued.
I'm gonna call him back.
The doctor?
Yes.
What can I do for you?
Did something happen to the second officer?
It seems like fatigue to me.
Okay. Did
He's-
something happen?
He's mentioned something about looking at some sort of wiring. Said the wiring was different.
Oh,
He's not been burned at all.
Like the rest of the
Wait,
crew.
sure, this crew is saying something.
Right now.
hold on.
I make no comments upon his previous
I'm gonna
injuries.
hail the chief engineer, Smith. Mr. Smith?
What?
Sorry.
I'm busy. Bang bang.
Mr. Tolby is in the infirmary?
Good for him.
Something about wiring?
Yeah?
Did something happen?
Not that I know of.
Are you breaking my ship?
No, it's already broke. I'm trying to fix it.
Okay.
Alright.
Personal log. On the flight back, we may need to be short 2 crew.
How many beds do I have in the infirmary?
4.
I'm going to set him up on one. I'm going to give him some depressants and let him lie down for a bit.
You mean some sedatives?
Sedatives.
Okay.
Sedatives.
Give him some liquor.
Okay.
You seem to be depressed. Here, have some suicide pills.
It's about this time that you are going to need to go check on your patients in the cryopods. They're going to need you need to check up on them, make sure everything's reading out the right way.
Okay.
So,
I'll head on over there and start making sure everything's going right.
okay. So, the Jupitrix, you're headed back.
Yes.
Yeah, we're burning fuel here. We're
Okay.
going home.
All right. So, you guys are in the process of docking, and you have used your first, or you've been gone. Let's say you've been this whole landing on the planet procedure has gone on for about 10 hours. So, while not physically fatigued, you've had a long day of dealing with stuff. So this would be a time when most of the crew would want to take a break, retire to your quarters and things like that. As you pass through the commons area, you find the panel off the wall, and the wiring is a mess. That looks odd.
Actually, no, that's perfectly wrong. Pay no attention.
Captain Baker,
Yes.
At what point am I going to come back in with a bunch of tools and replacement parts?
just about now.
do you know what's going on in the commons area and why the wall panel's yanked out and a bunch of wires hanging out?
Go.
No,
I come
the
walking
chief
back in.
engineer just told me that there's nothing going on with wires or anything.
Anything weird go on while we were gone?
Turns out Tolby is tired.
Okay, and you walk in?
Yeah, I literally walk in. I'm like holding replacement parts. I'm like, all right.
Oh, you fixing this?
No, I'm making cookies.
Literally nothing has been done.
I walk out. I'm like, oh, cookies, good.
Yeah, I didn't
walk
expect
out of
him
the
to know
commons.
anything about it.
I expect that answer from him. Toby's tired. Are you going to get? We're about to end shift. I figured we would all
Beat the doctor. I mean, check with the doctor and see if everything's okay.
Yeah, I was going to suggest that you get some bunk time, I get some bunk time, and Toby go watch the bridge.
You're going to need to go talk to the doctor about fatigue and taking a man off of his duty.
Gotcha.
For fatigue.
Gotcha.
Fatigue.
Swinging by the med bay now.
I'm following him.
I'm going to call him back. Teague.
I'm tired of people hanging up on me.
We got to head to the med bay.
Yeah, I assume I heard that. That wasn't uncrypted. Right?
Yeah.
No.
All right.
Would you like me to make a quick electrical repair roll?
Not yet. So you guys get to the med bay, and
No bay.
he's not here. He went down to the.
He's not even in the room.
Is
Cryopods.
Toby there? Toby there?
Toby is there.
Toby? Does he
I-
look lucid? Does he look...
He looks groggy
Sedated.
and sedated.
Okay. Given military some background, do we have what would be the equivalent of a stim pack?
Oh yeah.
Oh, great. We're slapping one of those on Toby. We're going to wake his ass up.
I take
right
one
now.
and put it in my pocket.
Yeah, and I'm going to stick one in my pocket.
Okay.
So we're ugly, scarred, drug addict drunks. I'm a pilot,
man.
Pay
I
no
need-
attention
I need
to
my
our
uppers.
captain and just ignore him when
Or
he tries
rules
to-
and laws.
Yeah, cool. All right.
You know, we're spacers. This is what happens.
It's always a pleasure to work with proper professionals.
Thank you.
So yeah, you do that, and it takes Toby 30 seconds. Like his head's like lolling back and forth, and then suddenly his eyes pop open. He goes, "Commander,
You all right?
I what?
Take a breath.
Yeah,
You okay?
I don't know."
Are you gonna die?
And he pukes on your shoes.
Yep, now you're gonna die.
Okay, take it. Here, rinse that out.
What?
You're gonna die?
I don't know.
Just
This
say
is
no.
Weird. No.
Cool, go to the bridge.
What? And he gets up and wanders out like towards the bridge.
Right on.
I don't say a word.
Captain, I'm gonna start wiping on my shoes. Boop, Captain.
Yes.
Toby's headed to the bridge.
Not too fatigued.
Nah, you just needed a stim and we're good.
Okay.
All right. Boop.
Where do you guys go from there?
Bridge? Or we got anything else to do? We got anything to do on the ship?
So we talked to the dog about proper medical
Oh,
procedures
yeah,
on board
let's
ship.
go do that. We're gonna head to the cryopods. And I'm gonna make note of which cryopod he's in. I'm gonna duck my head around the thing and look down the rows. Is he messing with the 5 that are grouped together? Or is he off on the little side pod looking at the pretty girl?
I would probably be at the side pod.
There you
But hang on a second. Yeah, I'm at the side pod.
All right.
I will step out into the corridor and bark out in my best drill sergeant voice, "Hey, newbie!"
I will jump. What can I do for you?
What order
Oh,
did
good
you
to see you back.
What order did you revive these in?
So it was
1, 2,
Yeah.
3,
so the 5
Yeah.
of them were stacked. So it was like
Yeah.
1, 2, 3,
4.
4, 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. Why are you down there when you should be up here?
He's not out yet.
So she
I was
is?
just making sure they were
So
all okay.
she is?
I was just making my rounds.
So
I checked.
she is?
No, she's not yet.
Then you should be up here. Look, people get tired. People get fatigued. You slap a stim pack on them, you let them finish up their duty, and then they can rest. You can sleep when you're dead.
Did you look at him? Did you see the blood vessel pop in his eye? Is that what you
Sure.
were?
Now, if I slapped
command?
you upside the head, you'd have the same thing on your eye. I would call it a teaching lesson. You would say, ow. We'd all move on with our life, wouldn't we?
I walk up behind him and come up really uncomfortably close and into his ear and say,
So like you walk around the back.
I've been wandering around looking at I've gone over to the pod that he's looking at and kind of looking at the pods while they're having a discussion. Then I come back behind him and I come up like into his ear and say, Mudbelly, have you seen a man sucked through a hole? Because I've seen a man's whole body go through a hole and just the head's left, and then it pops like a grape. And when you don't pay attention to watches and you don't follow orders on ship, that's what happens in space. You Earthnoids don't know about that, but I've seen it happen. So that's why we pay attention to things and follow the rules, Mudbelly.
I wait for the doctor's response.
I don't say anything. I'm just kind of standing there shaking.
Okay.
Are you fatigued, Doctor?
Everybody give me a listen check.
Oh, good.
Well, not, I guess, in the scene.
Okay.
Sorry.
Nope, I'm too busy. And I'm in newbie's face.
You have a what check?
Listen.
I pass.
You hear voices as if somebody is in a different row, like blocked from your sight.
Have you thought anyone else out?
No. Besides, if I was to release him this early.
Do you hear that?
I look at
No.
you. Hear what?
I start walking towards where I hear the voices.
Okay. Nobody's there. You're sure they couldn't have been any farther away than this at the sound, the level of sound you heard. You know that.
Okay, I walk back.
Okay. Is anybody? Do you guys just stand there by the one pod while he goes away?
While he walks back, I'm gonna
cover
Move
him.
move distance out to see where he's heading, where he stops, and where he comes back from.
I kind of wince and rub my forehead.
Newbie. Fatigue and a little pop on the eye. Not life and death.
You don't take men off watch unless the captain says so. Or the XO.
Or they're physically incapable of continuing. We clear?
Yep.
Okay. In the span of today, that's 2. Okay.
What has the rest of the trip had to have looked like?
I don't know. I'll just point out, you outrank him. Just keep that in mind.
What size
you
are you?
outrank him. Your contract is you can tell him what to do. You can't tell him what to do, but you can tell him what to do. Just that thought goes through your mind. Like, just saying.
That's fine, but this is your first time in space.
Effectively, you're supposed to be able to tell him what to do. So what do you guys do at that point? You leave, you go back to your bunk, go to the bridge.
Let's go check in with the captain. Make sure he knows what's going on, and we'll leave Newbie to... whatever he's going to do with the girl. I just don't want to see it.
I turn to the doc and give him a really disgusted look, and then follow the XO off.
Give me a sanity roll, Jesse.
That look was so intense!
Oh, no. No, yeah, I don't make it.
Half a d6.
I lose 3.
They're besmirching her. They're being
Deriding.
rude.
Oh, yeah.
That's accurate.
I fully suggested that you might fap to her frozen corpse. I mean, unthawed cargo-ness, whatever it is we call the popsicles around
Once
here.
they leave
Yeah,
the area, I'm going to go back to the med bay.
Yeah.
I'm going to get my to-go bag
yeah.
and my handgun.
Okay,
And I'm going to go back to the pods.
all right. That makes sense because you need to be there when the first one pops open.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I have to
shoot
shoot
it.
this.
Yeah.
And you have your gun in case the rude folks come back. I'm with you. Good for you.
Second Officer Tolby hits the bridge, wide-eyed and
Bushy tail.
yeah, and says, "Captain, I was ordered to relieve you. If
You
that's
feeling better?
yeah,
A little fatigued, were you?
well, yeah, I don't know. It was weird. The wiring just, I guess it was a bigger job than I was ready to handle.
The
right now.
wiring made you fatigued?
I don't know. When you say it that way, it doesn't make any sense.
Yes, that is correct.
Captain's log. Make that 3.
What wiring?
My crew.
There was a circuit juncture in the commons area.
Shouldn't the chief been taking care of that?
Well, I mean, it's my job too. It affects the whole. It's not vital, but it's one of the the relays, the redundancies. And it's in the redundancy system. If power and the computers and all flow through that area, it's
It's redundant.
well, yeah.
Much like your job.
No, we both need to sleep sometime.
Yeah, unless you want to work a 16-hour shift. No, it's well. I mean, it's either one of our duties as you've assigned them to me. It's whoever can take care of it takes care of it. We have the satellite issue to deal with, and that issue to deal with, and the Smith wanted to do the satellites, so I took that one.
So Smith knew about that?
No. Or,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I mean, his readout found it first. You had me walking back there, and he was walking up here.
Okay.
Anyway, do you want me to take over?
Yeah, I'll need some sleep.
Okay.
I will.
Any orders?
Don't land. If anything happens, wake me.
how big anything.
Wow, he was fatigued.
And then stimulated.
And then stimmed, yeah.
Given
yes.
You know.
Ambiguous orders.
Yeah.
Not going to work for him.
All he hears is the blood rushing through.
I mean, you know.
If something happens, wake me. Sir, the cat is in the fridge.
If
That's the thing.
maybe I'm fatigued. If anything outside of the ordinary happens, if we are contacted, if we are struck by something, God forbid someone makes it on board. If anything goes strange with the pods, if the doctor tries to relieve you, call me immediately.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Hope that covers everything, dear Lord.
So, Doctor, you've been up and about for quite a few hours. What are you going to do?
How much longer do we have until there?
5 hours.
5 hours.
Stroke the glass again.
I'm going to run my tongue.
I'm
the
going to go to the nurse and
say fap.
She's probably actually getting ready to take over on duty.
I'm just gonna undo the front of my trousers and
I would like to be awake when they come out of the
just right there.
the sleep. That should give me some time.
Yeah, you need a few hours.
Yeah, just a little bit to freshen up. But
Sure.
be ready.
Of course. So do you go to your quarters?
Yeah.
All right. And Engineer Smith, you got the satellites working. Now you have that
Then I
NAS.
have to repair the panel.
Yes. So you're going to take care of that?
Yep.
All right. Give me electronic repair.
Pass.
All right. It does take you a long time just because the jumble.
Knotted and twisted.
Yeah. And you got to sort it all out, but let's go.
Does it scream when I pull it out?
No, nothing like that happens. So let's say 2 hours later, you got it all back together, and you're done. So you've put in a 12-hour day now. You're kind of tired. You need to take a break, hit the bunk, hit your hammock in the engine room.
The engine room. They got like 4 of them.
Well, wherever your hammock is that you were hanging out in.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll crash out.
Okay. So all the player characters are asleep?
No, not yet.
Oh, not yet?
No.
Okay.
I wanna watch and see when Doc goes back to his cabin.
Okay.
I have a technical question. Can the pods be moved from one bank to another? In other words, I've got a stack of 5. Can I take out number 5 and from this row and number 5 from the other side of the bay and switch them?
No.
Without losing the cryos? All right. Because I was going to move his girlfriend.
You could move a group of 5 to a different area.
Oh.
A whole
stack?
cell, whatever.
Pod.
Yeah, a stack of them.
All right. Well, I'm going to take out stack with number 36 in it,
Yeah.
and I'm move her to the far corner.
Yeah.
Leave the defrost running,
Yeah.
and then take the one from the corner and stick it in where number 38 is supposed to be.
Okay.
Just so that when he goes 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, it's not thawing. Just mess with it.
Okay.
It's a little downtime for me.
Yeah.
It's a little me time. And then I'm going to hit the bunk and go to sleep.
All right. So.
Oh, I'm going to call in Captain.
Yes, sir.
Did you read the report from our flyover?
Not yet. I was going to get a little bit of rest and read that in the morning.
Okay.
Is there anything emergency that needs to be on there, or that I need to get into?
We heard a weird screech come over the comm. One of their orbital ships is missing. One of the 2 big ones.
Yeah.
And we found no evidence of people in the main compound. We found one guy on a weird island way over there. We marked the positions of both.
But you saw somebody?
Yeah, in a tree, according to Lagash.
Did you see somebody?
I did not.
Okay.
It was thick fluid.
Something strange is going on this ship.
Amen. On the ship? You mean on the planet?
No, I mean on the ship too. Have you not met this crew?
Well, it's other than newbie going, ah!
I expect a lot more from my second officer than I'm fatigued, I'm going to go take a nap.
No, that was newbie.
Was it? Okay.
Because when we got there, apparently the eye and the stuff, he'd hit him with an injection of something to set. He gave him a sedative. That's where the fatigue came from.
Okay. What? Okay.
I hit him with a stim pack. We were fine. We moved right on.
First thing in the morning, I want you and what's his face?
Toby. Cookie.
First thing to meet with me, and we need to discuss what our next step is.
Okay, we'll meet as his watch ends and put him to bed. Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
Because maybe by then he'll be fatigued. Oh, by the way, I moved Newbie's girlfriend to the back corner.
Yeah, we need to keep an eye on that. That's getting creepy.
Well, it is, but still, when he walks through and sees that her pod is no longer reviving, he's going to shit himself, and then he'll look around and find her. It'll be fine. We'll all have a laugh.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, and before I go to bed, I'm going to have
Night, sir.
Good night.
talk to both of my pilots verbally and individually and tell them both the same thing. And that's, I've been getting some ghosts on the sensors. If you log any strange blips, glitches, keep track of them. You don't need to bother the rest of the crew, just relay it to me. And the same.
Do you want us to wake you up?
No, I'm just saying, let me know when I wake up.
Ah.
Unless it's, an emergency.
Sure.
And also keep an eye. If you've got spare time, scan the locations that are logged with the ship's computer where we saw something on the overflight.
Uh-huh. Okay.
All right.
And do you say that, like, the pilot on, let's go with number 2, pilot is on duty with Toby. Do you say that where Toby can overhear it?
I speak softly to them so as not to disturb him. I don't. He might if he's like really trying to listen in, he can hear him.
No, he does. You guys have your own way. There's a break. You give the new guys.
So I'm not doing it audibly, but I'm not also like just
secret,
being discreet.
Whispering, Okay. All right. So everybody goes to sleep. Doctor, you are the first one to wake up because you asked to be woken before the first person comes out. So you, the nurse calls you over the comm system, says, "Doctor, it's the time you asked me to wake you up."
Yep.
The first pod is finishing up. You have about 10 minutes.
I'll get up, get ready, and get out there.
All right. So you do just that. You have a, like you said, you had to take some equipment down there to read him and give him some injections when he first woke up. So the pod opens up and sort of kind of goes out, slides out a little bit and opens up. So he sort of rolls out and just lets out "Oh, my head! What the hell?" And just dry heaves, just continuing for several minutes while you administer.
Yeah, I give him what he's needed.
Yep. Give me another sanity check.
Oh, joy.
Nope.
What was her name again?
Sarah.
Sarah. You're going to put Sarah through this. Oh, that's unconscionable. Why would you force someone to go through this? Give me a D6.
1.
Nice. Yeah. So this guy's in pain. He's suffering. Why would you do this to Sarah? That's crazy. Unfortunately, there's nothing you can do about it. The process has been started. To mess with it now would take delicate work with the computer to control the drugs.
I did finish talking to my class. I think I could handle this.
No.
All right.
Which should be about the time it looks down the road.
Yeah, which is exactly what I was about to get to. So
awesome. Sorry.
No, you're exactly fine. So so thinking about her after you've administered to this man, he's going to be fine, and that's when you have a moment to spare, and you look down the row, and the readout on her display is not right. It's normal. It's supposed to be processing and things are flashing and changing and whatever. And hers is just stable.
I'm going to rush over there.
She's not in there.
Is there something in there?
Oh yeah, there's something. There's a person in there, but it's not her. This isn't Sarah. This isn't
I'm
the
gonna
perfect
start
angel.
looking through. Yeah, I'm gonna start looking through all the pods. Rapidly.
The nurse starts calling to you, Doctor. What's going on? What are you doing? What? We need to get this man to the med bay.
I'll be there in a moment.
And so you run, and
Yeah.
it takes you several. You run down the aisles, and eventually you do see a pod displaying the proper screen, and there she is, safe and sound.
I'll take a few moments to collect myself.
Okay.
Do I know these things are movable, or?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
They're totally supposed to shift around and do things, but you didn't do it. Like, why would somebody do this? That's.
You should have me program a false screen.
So, you got a few minutes, and then you got to get back to
Yeah.
work because this is only.
I'll make sure all the readouts are correct and everything's still going just fine. Nothing's.
Yeah, you
interrupted.
recognize the people above and below her, and this is where she's supposed to be, except the whole thing was moved.
I'll go back over.
Okay. So the nurse says, something wrong, Doctor?
No. Nothing's wrong. Nothing's wrong at all.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
All right. I believe both George and Jason asked to set up certain things that now trigger at this point in time. You get an alarm set. Something is different, is what the alarm is telling you. When you check things out, all systems are fine, but there has been a command order change from the bridge, and your orbit is now different. You are no longer geosynchronously located over the colony. George, takes you a minute, but you realize that you are in orbit over the source of that strange broadcast.
I go to the bridge.
Like run?
Yeah.
Or okay.
I'll hit a button to sound an alarm.
Like red alert?
Like general quarters?
Oh no, just like whoop, whoop, whoop.
Like in your room across the whole ship?
Like on the 1MC across the whole ship.
Alright, you're waking
everybody
up.
Like, that's not right. Click.
So you guys have gotten, roughly 5 hours of sleep, a little less, when this happens. And I think we should just go ahead and wrap it up there.
Sure. So that will do us tonight on Nerds Domain Presents Masks of Nyarlathotep side quest Terror Nova. You can find us on Facebook and Twitter. You can email us. You can check out the website. We have lots of reviews, and we will talk to you guys real soon.
This has been a production of the Omega Nerds Network, the network where it's on.